Over the last 5 years, I've helped dozens of 7, 8, and 9-figure Shopify brands make over $40 million in organic search revenue. And in this raw breakdown, I'm going to call out all of the outdated SEO myths that agencies and freelancers are still pushing, and maybe even myths that you still believe in. And I'm going to show you what actually works for our clients to drive hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month in organic search revenue. Plus, I'm going to explain why most brands fail with SEO, whether it's a bad agency, a bad strategy, bad internal execution, or maybe even some combination of all three. I'm also going to get into if SEO is even a good fit for your brand right now, based on your revenue stage and also kind of like the product category you exist in. So if you've been burned by agencies in the past, haven't seen a 3, 4, 5x ROI with SEO, I understand you're frustrated. This video is going to change your mind and your results. Let's get into it. First, let me show you who I am and what I do so you know that I'm not lying. I'm going to walk through a few of my brands, just their organic search revenue over the last 3 months, okay? 90 days, all right? Here's a brand we started with in January. So first full month, 189,000 in organic search revenue. February, immediate growth, adding almost 100K immediately in revenue, 280. And in March, thus far, end of the month's not even over yet at the time I recorded this, 380K thus far in organic search revenue, okay? No paid ads, no email, purely organic search. Let's look at another one. We also started with in January, 101K in the first month, 118 in the second month, and in March, again, thus far, month's not over, we're at just shy of $127,000 in organic search revenue. Both these last two are fashion brands. Let's show a couple other ones. Let's look at like this sock brand. I guess fashion as well. Been wearing this brand actually for about a year now. Just had an interview come out with a client, so make sure to check that out. In January of this year, 27,000 organic search revenue. February, 32 and a quarter, roughly. March, thus far, almost at 40, probably gonna break 40 by the end of the month. Next up, let's look at a furniture brand. This brand we've been with since December as well. December, full month's not there. January, 206K. February, 312K. So like 60K up in the month there. 287 right now, so a little bit down in March, but it's furniture and they've been known to have some really big days. So very likely we'll get near the 300 mark, probably won't get to 300 exactly, but still a ton of growth regardless. All right, and then want to check out just one last one. All right, this is more of like a high ticket product, more hard good style. Also started with this brand in January, similar growth patterns, okay? 15K in January, 28, 29 in February, and 53 in March. Already 4x growth from the time we started. So that's what I do, and that is what I do for brands. Newsies, my agency, is a full stack SEO agency just for Shopify brands. We do a lot. We do every single component of SEO, but I will be honest with you, there are probably 4 main drivers of these results that we have, and we create for brands. First, we optimize collection pages. We create new collection pages that you don't already have. We liberally build internal links, which a lot of agencies simply don't, and I can't understand why, because it is one of the easiest wins out there. And we build really fucking good link insertions, okay? Now, I'm gonna run through a little bit each of those more in depth because a lot of people may not know what they are, and also I think they're a good point. Optimize existing collections. Most agencies simply will not update your collections to target a single keyword. Maybe they'll go straight into product pages, maybe leave the collection page completely blank. If they do it at all, there's a better chance they're gonna do it once and then forget about it completely. I can see from experience that is a terrible idea. If you do it once and forget about it, that just means you're assuming that it's going to work out, and you don't know that. Agencies have data all the time. They need to be making updated decisions based on the data. So doing it once and not doing it again, terrible strategy, okay? We look at every single collection page for a brand, probably every other month, I would say, to see if there's any quick wins we can get, higher ranking, tweaking a meta title, adding internal links, all that kind of stuff. Next up, we create new collections. In my experience, most agencies, if they bother to optimize like your actual existing product pages, collection pages, if they do that, they're immediately just going to get straight into blog content. And blog content is something I'm going to talk about a little bit later on in this video, but everyone just thinks blog content and SEO, right? Like that's like the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about SEO. And I want to tell you, if you're an e-commerce brand, I need you to like rewire your brain around that. Blogs are going to be the least revenue driving thing, like component of a strategy. If an agency actually does build any new collections or optimize existing ones, they're going to update your meta title, maybe update your meta description. Meta descriptions right away, like one of those two things. Meta descriptions have not been a ranking factor since 2004. Sure, they're a click-through rate factor. However, if you're not on page 1, you're going to have a 0% click-through rate anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's a low leverage task. We create new collections because we can be creative. Sock company, I just mentioned earlier, like the results I just showed you. Compression sock company, you may not know about compression socks, but they have a lot of other health benefits, okay? The previous agency that worked with this brand just had one compression sock collection. They had like a men's and women's one. They had like some different sizes. Pretty good start. I believe they could do better. So what did we do? We spun out a ton of new collections, like use case collection. Compression socks for travel, for elderly, for gout, for plantar fascia, all these kinds of use cases. We've got a ton more collections that are tailor-made for people searching for specific use cases. I think we ended up building like 30 new ones. They all rank on page 1 now, and they're all bringing in additional revenue, which allowed us to kind of expand the TAM, let's call it, for compression socks, right? So we're really good at creating new collections. I believe you should create as many bottom funnel collections as you possibly can before you even touch, or before you at least write a new blog. Maybe you update some existing blogs. You definitely want to build more bottom of funnel content before you even bother getting to any new top funnel blog content, okay? Your revenue exists at the bottom of the funnel. Blog traffic is brand awareness doesn't pay bills, okay? You need to make money. Bottom of funnel is where that happens, all right? Third thing we do, we liberally build internal links. Between blogs, from blogs to collections, between similar collections, we build probably more than you think may be necessary, but we've got this framework dialed in for results, and I'm telling you, it works. Last up, link insertions. Link insertions are exceptionally difficult to build at scale. We work with like 25 plus brands. Probably one of the most logistically intensive parts of our agency is how we approach link insertions. Most agencies will just do guest posting because it's very easy. Pay a fee, write a guest post, goes up on a site, you're like, okay, cool, I got a backlink. Problem with guest posting is in addition to having to actually supply the content and pay the fee, you also have to supply the traffic. Do you think you're the only guest post on that site? Not a chance. 100 other guest posts probably went up that day. The website publisher, the website manager, they are not going to bother internally linking between all these pages. They're not going to run a press release. They're not going to promote your new guest post. They got paid. They upheld their part of the transaction. Your guest post is more likely than anything just going to become an orphan page in that website. Maybe never even get indexed. It's definitely never going to get any traffic. That is easy for agencies to fulfill, which is why they do so damn many of them. Link insertions, harder to find, immensely more valuable. Rather than writing a guest post in like total control of the article, but again, like you have total control of the article, you unfortunately have zero traffic. So we give up a little bit of control for more traffic. That makes it more valuable to you. We find relevant sites in your niche that meet like our basic criteria for traffic, quality, things like that. We want to make sure we're actually building links on sites that are relevant to your brand. For example, if you're a fashion brand, we're looking at design, style, lifestyle, maybe travel, like anything that kind of relates to your niche, we want to make sure you're connected to. We then find actual pages on those websites that already have traffic, meaning we know they're already valuable. We then suggest a modified version of the content. We're changing a couple words, maybe adding a sentence here and there. But again, we get a good link, and we get a good link on a page that's already trafficked. That page that's already trafficked is way, way, way more valuable than any guest post you could ever write. So between the four things I just talked about, existing collections, new collections, internal links, link insertions, I think we do link insertions better than anyone else. I will say we do the other three things exceptionally well, and when you put all four together, this is where the magic happens, right? The four things together are what create the results for the brands I just showed you. That is what we do, or why we do what we do, and how it works. I wanted to get into some SEO myth busting, mostly in regards to the general SEO space, but also things that agencies and freelancers push that just simply don't work. I'm gonna start with agencies, okay? I'm an agency myself, probably gonna get me some hot water here, but here we go. Most SEO agencies are not very good, okay? This is a very known thing within the e-commerce community, as well as like even outside of e-commerce, right? I know bad SaaS agencies, I know bad local agencies. It's just a thing. And it's bad agencies, right? It's not SEO is one, but there's bad Google ads, there's bad email, all that kind of stuff. SEO agencies have a bad rep for a couple reasons. I think the first reason is that they default to the position that SEO takes 6 to 12 months to work. And that enables them to stretch out retainers for 6 to 12 months while no results happen. And they just keep telling you, yeah, it's good. It takes time. And you just keep believing that. The issue is if you haven't seen results in the first 6 months, like better rankings, more clicks, more traffic, more revenue, the next 6 months are not magically just gonna, like, there's no switch that flips on and all of a sudden everything works. There is incremental growth over time. And then within 6 to 12 months, it should be paying for itself twice, thrice over. Okay? Because they hang on to that 6, 12 months, whatever, they keep you in the dark. That is awful. I'm very big on transparency. I want my clients to know how things work, why they work, why we do what we do, and how it translates into revenue. A lot of agencies don't do that. They'll send you one report once a month, and it's like, hey, we wrote these blogs, we built these links. See you in 30 days. Reporting's vague. You don't know what you're looking at. You're like, did it work? Did it not work? I have no fucking clue. That's how most SEO agencies do reporting. We do 30-day reporting because that is kind of the standard of reporting. However, we are speaking to our clients several times throughout the month. Every single time a new backlink gets built, you're notified in our Slack channel. We don't just notify you at the end of the month. We notify you the minute it goes live. Any new piece of content that needs a review goes to you in Slack. We will ask questions to get like a better view of your ICP. Hey, can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this? Like, we do build strategies, but our strategies are very agile, and that is, I would say, largely in part to our constant communication with brands. If you feel like I have no idea what my SEO agency's been doing for the last 6 months, they're probably not doing anything, to be quite frank with you. I do a lot of consulting on the side in some coaching communities. Daily Mentor is one of them. All the time, brands are working with, really cheap agencies and like, hey, are we doing anything or anything? They will send me over their reports, and like more often than not, those brands are getting fleeced by those agencies. Unfortunately, that's just the case. They sell you lowball ticket retainers, and they don't care about how much money you make. They just care about keeping you on long enough to hit their LTV. The other thing they do, if they're actually doing anything, they're probably writing blog content. Similar to guest posting, blog content is crazy easy to fulfill. ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Perplexity, Claude, what have you, right? Pretty easy to spin up a blog. It used to cost a couple $100 for writers per blog. Now it costs probably like less than 10. You should be editing all that stuff, but like agency margins are going way up using AI content. The problem is blog content is not driving you any revenue, right? I said earlier, all of the bottom of funnel content should be taken care of. So when I say bottom of funnel, I mean products, I mean collections, all that kind of stuff. If you just jump straight into blog content, it's like trying to cover up like a dumpster fire, right? Like you're just like throwing on a new tablecloth cloth and building on top, okay? When you've actually like not done anything about the bottom of the funnel, which is again is where the money is made. Agencies will sell you on different packages, right? Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. One of them you get 2 blogs, 2 backlinks. The other one you get 4 blogs, 4 backlinks. The highest one you get 8 blogs, 8 backlinks. I can tell you right now, they want to say the middle tier because it's profitable for them. 4 blogs, crazy easy to fulfill on. 4 backlinks, especially the guest posts, also insanely easy to fulfill on. I said earlier, you think SEO, you probably immediately think blogs. I'm telling you, in e-commerce SEO, especially in the last 6 to 12 months, really, the game has changed, and it is definitely going to be changing in the future. That actually leads me into myth number 2. I believe that blog first SEO is dead, at least as far as it pertains to e-commerce SEO. The money is made at the bottom of the funnel. Yes, blog content can potentially, if done really, really well, play a role in your growth. However, if you're an agency or you're a brand and you're just writing blogs for the sake of SEO because you think it's the right thing to do, I'm telling you, you're probably wasting your time. I have seen agencies write 4 blogs a month for a year. That's 48 blogs. They will charge $4,000, maybe or more a month, build a few backlinks on top of it, and they call it a day. You will look at the brand that they did the work for, 0 organic growth across the entire year. Would you rather have 48 blogs, or would you rather have $48,000 back in your pocket at the end of the year? My intuition tells me you'd probably rather have the 48K back, and also you'd probably rather have invested in a better agency that actually took care of a strategy that actually made you money, as opposed to just defaulting to what's easy. I think blog first SEO is dead. AI overviews are pretty much taking every single top funnel SERP out there. What is, how to, why, the queries that SEOs used to like really invest themselves in ranking for can simply be answered with an AI overview. Even if you rank number 1 for an AI overview, you're probably getting like 20% of the clicks that you might have gotten pre-AI overview. For me and our agency, we've stopped writing them. We don't do any top of funnel blog content that could be answered by AI overview. If we find a keyword that an AI overview exists in the SERP, we're simply skipping it. That goes for new blog content. If you've already got a lot of blog content on your site, it is valuable to you. We work with brands all the time that have come from other agencies who, like I said, write 48 blogs a year and they can't get it to work. I can tell you right now, we can get blog content to work, at least by updating it. We're not publishing a lot of new blog content because usually there's just a lot of excess blog content on the site that is way faster and way easier to get mileage out of than just publishing new shit. That's myth number 1. I believe top funnel blog content completely dead. And I believe if your agency is still doing it, you should fire them. Second up, more backlinks equals better rankings. Not at all true. You can go buy 100 backlinks on Fiverr for $5. I can tell you right now, probably gonna hurt your site. I have spent anywhere on one singular link, I've spent anywhere from probably $50 to, I think on the highest end, 3,000. More like 100 to 500 is kind of the range. And again, like there are bad links in that range, but that is like pretty good range for backlinks. Quantity does not by any means equal quality. Okay, so if your agency is like, hey, we're building 30 links this month and you're paying like $2,000, I would urge you to reconsider working with that agency. I can tell you an agency that could build 30 links for a 2K retainer is lying to you about the quality or lying to you about the number. Just this morning, I'm working on a very small like local site. I built 100 backlinks for $400. The way local sites operate and the way those links are intended to operate are vastly different than what I would do for my e-commerce clients. I know what I'm getting into with those 100 links. If I built the same 100 links for my brands, our traffic would fall off of a cliff. There are different types of links. There are different costs to each of them. But I'm telling you, if you're getting like a ton of links a month and you're not paying all that much, I would urge you to take a deeper look at what's actually happening. Myth number 3, SEO is good for every business. Absolutely not. And this could be said for every channel, right? Not every channel is right for every business, whether that's the actual industry you operate in, products you sell, or the revenue you exist at. If you're a brand starting from scratch, let's say like $0 a month, or even less than, I don't know, let's call it like $10,000 a month. SEO, probably 99% certainty, is not going to be your saving grace. The only way SEO works if you're starting from scratch is if you have an enormous product catalog, and I'm talking like thousands of SKUs, because that means just more keywords to compete on. But if you're like a traditional D2C brand and you have like less than 100 SKUs and you're at 10K a month or less, please do not spend any money on an SEO agency. If you want to do it at all, do it in-house, but I urge you not to spend money on an agency. I would continue to spend money on paid ads, Meta and Google primarily, so that you can continue growing. Most of the brands we work with at our agency, actually all of them, are above $100,000 a month in revenue. Many of them are well into like the 500K a month range. Some of them are over $1 million a month. SEO works for them because they've already leveraged paid ads to get to a certain point where they can now benefit from SEO. But I'm telling you, like, if you're a brand that is new, SEO is not going to be your silver bullet. Like, if you're at 10K a month and you don't want to spend more money on paid ads, or you're at zero, let's say 0 a month, and you don't want to spend money on paid ads because you're scared, you're going to just sink cash into SEO for 6 months and nothing's going to happen. And you should have just taken the chance on paid ads. SEO for e-commerce is really, really good. I would say probably once you clear like the 50, 75K a month mark. Again, there's different agency like pricing models and stuff. So some of the agencies you want to work with may be a bit outpriced. Just keep growing. And then when you reach that point, pull the trigger on SEO. Don't just do it because you think you should do it, especially if you're not in the revenue range. You should take an honest look at your business and think, does it work for you? If the answer is no, like that's fine. There are tons of 9-figure brands out there that have never done SEO and they're a 9-figure brand. Not completely necessary. I would tell you like probably baseline, if you're like, yeah, 75 to 100K or month or more, like you have not yet done SEO, I would seriously consider taking a look at it. If you're well below that, 0, 10, 15, 20K a month, I would focus on paid ads, right? And I say that as an SEO. So that's kind of the breakdown on SEO. It's myth busting. It's what we're doing. It's what's working right now. That's what it is. If you've been burned before by an agency, freelancer, tried it in-house, didn't work, whatever, and you want to see what 2025 e-commerce SEO actually looks like, click the first link below to book a discovery call with me, and I'll chat to you soon.